Alright guys, so if a coach has said it once, he said it 1,000 trillion billion, you get the picture. He said it a whole lot. Offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. And I think in 2K, a lot of people have kind of forgotten about that. They kind of just said, we don't really need defense all that much. If we outscore our opponent, we should be fine, right? Yeah, wrong. Because I've come across maybe one or two of these teams, and all of them have swiftly made it a game. Like, they've always really been like nipping at my heels through the entirety of the time. And I have a squad of my own like this, and it is very, very good. And the squad I'm talking about is a certain type of squad, which is very relatable to what I just said, obviously. I'm talking about all defense squads. Those guys are totally different compared to squads that you usually see with like the Giannis's all over the place. And of course Giannis can be a part of an all defense squad because he's a very good defender and all that stuff. But I'm talking about the teams that their main focus is to make sure that you score as little as possible. These guys can make the game so annoying. Why? Because barely anyone is going to score in that game. And the only way that you can beat this team with an all-offensive squad is if you play some stellar plays and you have good fast break offense. And if you don't have that, you're not going to beat this team. This team is brilliant at the half court. Couple it with a coach and a person that plays good on-ball defense on top of that and knows when it's a good time to use a zone, you're going to be locked up basically the entirety of the time. The only people that can really get past this without having any sort of surplus knowledge is cheesers. They're the only people that can really get past it. And even they don't really work out anymore because like having a super tall player, because it can be super annoying, but there are ways to beat them. But some people do know what they're doing, so it can tend to get a little bit stupid. But when you're playing against these guys, fear for your lives. Like, fear for your life and try to outrun them. Because most of the time, when you're going against an all-defensive squad, this all-defensive squad is normally slow. And on top of that, you don't necessarily have to worry about their offensive game, because they don't have it. They don't have any offensive game. I'm just going to tell you straight up, they don't have any offensive game. Usually, these teams are built to break you on the offensive end, but they can barely score as much as you are on the other end. However, do not sleep on them, because if you do, they'll have you blown out before the first half has even drawn to a close. But when you're playing with an all defensive team, be sure that you know how to run plays, because offensively your team's gonna struggle if you try to run it like the same way that you would like a Mike D'Antoni team with plenty of isolations and dribbling and doing all that crazy fancy stuff. You can't necessarily do that with all defensive teams that have like Greg Popovich at the helm and stuff like that, because those teams stress passing the ball around. You gotta move the ball around, and if you don't, those teams are going to struggle. But if you have a good offense and you have a good scheme and you know what you're doing and you're a good on-ball defender, all defensive squads will be great for you to use. It's been Mr. Full Court. Like double uploads, because I just hit you with double upload. Like, comment, share, subscribe.